and they do need every win that they can get.
Dire team ban.
Absolutely. And right now, they're sitting on a 6th place, potentially 7th. The only team who is below them is Tundra. So they need any kind of wins they have to be able to not get eliminated.
Yeah, we could have one of those situations with lots of tiebreakers, though, with, like you said, Tundra down at the bottom, but there's Na'Vi, Beast Coast, EG, and even add Boom in there to the mix, depending on how the results today go for potential tiebreakers tomorrow for the last day of groups. But we do have a draft in front of us here for Game 2. Already a few picks in, as we've got Puck, Io, Kotl, Chen removed, Viper, Wyvern, Void, and Bat on the other side. Razor Clock first, with Tiny Marcy there for Spirit.
Tiny Marcy, something that the PSG LGD ran in the previous series. And you said it, outsiders. They do love to pick these two heroes together, do displacement tools. It's always going to be good. Like, you can toss people out of cogs, push them out of the cogs, break the link. But Na'Vi opening up differently. Razor plus Clockwork to be able to link onto target and try to get the damage done, have initiation. We've seen what Clockwork can do in terms of, like, getting... like, who was it that stole Aegis, stole the Shard?
Oh, was it Sweden Strong?
5 seconds remaining.
I think it was someone else, but...
It was a Clockwork, right?
It was Clockwork. For now, we're going to pretend it was Sweden Strong, just so we don't look stupid.
I think it might have been them against EG. I don't know. So many games going on. My brain is leaking information very, very quickly. As quickly as I gather it, it's just disappearing out the other side. Enigma banned by Na'Vi, so definitely afraid of that threat that Collapse posed throughout that Game 1.
Collapse played the laning stage extremely well. 10 out of 10, forcing Templar Assassin out early on, taking that tower, getting multiple kills from Dazzle. But, yeah, Tiny, played by Mira, made so many moves. Like, he was all over the place throughout the whole game.
It sure was. Team Spirit again taking their time. It seems they are very deliberate and slowly working through all the options. They've got the stacks of papers, the algorithm of drafting in front of them, thinking about which path they should take. And Kunkka is that hero in the end. One of the guys that's pretty good against displacement spells, right? You've got Toss, you've got Dispose, but when you X-mark someone defensively or even play aggressively with it, you remove the ability for these Toss saves or rebound jumps from Marcy to do their work.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, this Kunkka ban does make a lot of sense for the reasons that you mentioned, and also giving them more team fight, more tankiness. Good way to initiate on top of the Clockwork, and also X-mark into static links works amazing. So Team Spirit getting Rubik, which means that this Tiny most likely going to be a core here.
Yeah, that would make sense. We just haven't seen Marcy move into the core role yet, right? Like, I think Gunnar has played it a couple of times mid. We've maybe seen it in position 3 occasionally, but she's locked into support at this point now.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Just thinking if they could swap things around. Marcy as an off lane just doesn't strike me as a hero that some other heroes can do the same job better. But yeah, Rubik will have saving tool, another one against the Clockwork. Like Team Spirit, they're picking, counter-picking really hard against both Razor and Clockwork.
Very thoughtful process here. And get themselves through this draft. And again, just reiterating, Na'Vi desperate for victories to get themselves away from that bottom portion of the table. Of course, in Group B, one fewer team. It makes it a little bit scary there. With those 2 slots of relegation. Or elimination, as I should say. I want to try and match themselves up against EG at 6 and 6. Beast Coast tied 5-7 with Na'Vi. And a Dawnbreaker again, so still sticking to their guns. You know, Lays had a pretty good performance even through a loss in Game 1. Standing his ground and battling back whenever he was jumped on.
We didn't see Dawnbreaker ulti on top of Black Hole because Black Hole was not used for first 30 minutes of the game.
5 seconds.
But he did a good job. Like, his laning stage was pretty solid. Did manage to get the most out of it. I want to see how Team Spirit approaches this Razor pick from the offlane, because they did the counter pick, as we said, having this Rubik, but eventually you will have a shard, so you can throw people out, break the link. If they want to go more in terms of counter picking, there's still Morphling available.
Okay. They have that super hard carry for them. Snapfire for Na'Vi, stealing a page out of
10
Team Spirit's
seconds
book.
remaining.
Or is this going to be their mid
5
laner?
seconds
I guess it's
remaining.
pretty flexible, right? Clock is 4-5, Dawnbreaker 3-4-5, Snap 2-3-4-5. Razor can fill a couple of roles as well. You're not entirely sure where any of these heroes are going, so they can maneuver them around depending on the matchups. I'm trying to figure out exactly what they'll be facing off against. Like, who would you put against the Tiny here? Would you just put Snap against Tiny?
They could.
Dire team back.
This is Dawnbreaker.
You are so on point.
This is Dawnbreaker on the off. Well, maybe not. Navi's still keeping things very open. Because this Morphling makes a lot of sense. They don't have a single silence. So that means as long as he has mana, he will be able to
10
get out of
seconds
trouble
remaining.
against this Clockwork. And, of course, Razor matchup, or
5
he links you,
seconds
you link him
remaining.
back.
It's always incredibly annoying.
Team Spirit
Having his spells
turn
used
to
against you.
ban.
Lycan out. There's something Team Spirit lacking here, a little bit of tower push and tempo. The heroes like Lycan and Beastmaster could absolutely bring to the table. But this is where I think one of the biggest struggles of drafting a
10
Dota is when you're up
seconds
against this
remaining.
kind of flexibility. Banning out in this last stage.
Dire team back.
Void Spirit, I guess he's a pretty good all-rounder. One of those heroes, like you said, with a silence, right? Once you get the Aghanim Scepter, you're pretty good against the Morphling. But trying to figure out what your opponents need or want, very challenging. Whereas Na'Vi, you can pretty much be looking at this and
10
say, well,
seconds
let's
remaining.
ban some collapse heroes. Get rid of Lycan, get rid of a Mars.
5 seconds
We've already removed the
remaining.
Enigma, Batrider, and the Viper.
Looking at the offlane, they would need something something a bit more beefy. Like Rubik Marcy, it's kind of meh.
Team Spirit
Tiny.
turn to ban.
Okay, so they did ban out,
Dire
as you
team
said, a
pick.
couple of collapses heroes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Yes.
potentially. So there needs to be. I would still love if this is some kind of a strength hero. Going through the hero list, they do have last pick, so if it's a melee
10
carry for
seconds
Na'Vi,
remaining.
I wouldn't mind seeing something like Slardar. You did mention
5
Mars,
seconds
I believe,
remaining.
which is also fine. You have Cogs to work with. You can push away Dawnbreaker. You can push away Razor from the static link even more. A bit limited on tower damage. If they had different supports, I would say Dead Prophet.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I was looking at this and thinking if they had different heroes, I'd suggest Darkseer. I'm a big fan of Darkseer, but doesn't really fit into what they've got right now. What about Na'Vi? It's, again, very challenging to try and understand where they're all heading.
I wouldn't mind seeing Invoker just to be able to lock down Morphling. Okay, this also works.
Massive nuke damage.
They know already what they're going to pick. It's going to be Mars in the end.
Mars and Marcy and the Morphling.
So it is Razor safe lane against Collapse Mars, Dawnbreaker on the off lane with Snap, and Razor Clockwork safe lane.
Yeah, it looks like it. So that's going to put Zeus against Tiny. That's going to be pretty good for the Tiny, right? Last hitting
Tiny
and
does
denying.
farm up, yeah, but like both here, you're not going to stop Zeus from farming. I want to see how they're going to approach the small camp, whether that's going to be blocked or not. Morphling does love to play on low HP, and against Zeus, sometimes can be tricky. He can be bursted down. It's
10
I
seconds
think for
remaining.
Na'Vi, it's very simple Dota, where it's a lot of stuns,
5
a lot of
seconds
burst
remaining.
damage on their side. Team Spirit does not have that much tower damage, so they will need to play like 35, 40-minute game with their lineup. Because Morphling is one of the heroes that doesn't come online fast compared to some other position ones.
Yeah, he needs 3, 4 big items. Get himself up and running. But he does have the ability there to play back, sit in pockets of farm, while the other 4 are very good at brawling and fighting. The Collapse and Toronto Tokyo. And in fact, all 4 of these heroes, again, we come back to this topic of displacement and forced movement. Toss, dispose, telekinesis, spear. 4 different ways to move the Zeus, the Razor around in these team fights.
Zeus doesn't like to play into those abilities. It could potentially be 5 if Morphling turns into Snapfire.
Yeah, you're right. Turn into a clock, get the cogs, push people around. Cooking them out there with a stolen Snapfire spells. And away we go, game 2. An important one for Na'Vi. Desperate for a victory to stay in the tournament. Starting to look like down at the bottom of the group. They are close to out. Not guaranteed by any means, but every win matters. While Team Spirit, like you mentioned earlier, already secured that upper bracket. So we get ourselves out onto this wonderful Dota 2 map.
Prepare
have fun, have
for
fun, have
battle.
fun. No one with the triple.
Who wants cookies? Well,
Team
too
Spirit that wants to
bad.
smoke.
Question is whether Mira will be playing safe lane. Judging by the items, he has Boots of Speed. That means that he will be pulling the second wave between Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower. So they don't want to play the lane. They don't want to match this Razor. But always happy to see Mars played by Collapse. Even after all these nerfs, he still can make the hero look imbalanced.
Yeah, and it's one of those heroes that they can still use as a flex pick. Because I think we saw Toronto Tokyo play it twice yesterday in a couple of victories with Team Spirit. So they definitely still had that ability to move things around if they had wanted to. Collapse on his Magnus and his Mars. Incredible teamfight initiation. So good at finding spots on the map to hide in the trees, wait in the fog, and make those surprise jumps. Especially onto heroes like Zeus, who do not like being jumped on. Even with the addition of Heavenly Jump, Zeus definitely struggles with the gap close opponents. Na'Vi. Solo Clockwork. V-Tune on the Razor. He's got his full magic wand. Try and wander himself out to that top lane. That's a pretty nice combo with Cogs and the Static Link. If you can get on top of someone, drain all of their damage, and Razor whips them into shape.
They always have that kill threat. But if they get the spear on Clockwork, it's a lot of mana that Mars needs to use. It's also a Marcy lane.
I was waiting for that. What are you going to call him? Just Marzi?
Thinking if we can have something cool. Maybe chat knows. Chat's funny as hell.
Can you do anything with... what's Mars's counterpart? Mars is the Roman god, right? Is it Ares?
Yes.
Ares is the Greek one? Maybe I've got that the other way around. I can't remember. No, that's right, because Zeus is the Greek one and Jupiter's the Roman one. So many things in Dota 2 that are linked to like mythology or literature, cool little things. What's your favorite like Easter egg in the game? They added like Bob Ross' happy little tree to the Ironwood branch, that kind of thing.
Didn't we have like back in the days something with like phoenix eggs, and it was like considered an Easter egg?
Phoenix eggs. I don't remember that. I remember little frogs in the trees. There was a casino in the bottom right where you could unlock the gambler as well. That was back in Dota 1. I don't remember the eggs, though. You might be right. Ice Frog loves adding these little things that you can go around, collect as a mini-game. Go kill the frogs. Unlock a new hero that didn't exist yet. I think mine's always going to be the Octarine Core. Good old reference to Terry Pratchett, his Discworld novels.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Octarine is the color of magic.
Oh, don't spoil anything for me. I just bought my first Terry Pratchett book,
Did you?
Guards.
Oh, yes. I'm halfway through reading that. Very, very good book.
Very good book? Okay.
Yeah, I'd definitely suggest Color of Magic. Well, the Color of Magic is the name of one of the books, so it's not really a spoiler, but you'll definitely notice Octarine written in there by the man himself.
Oh,
Rest in
double
peace.
observer ward. No one he knows.
And a high five's coming as well. Mira, going to chase back Lays, but there's the D ward. And a counter D ward. The sentry killed off too quickly. I love this.
There's no way.
No
No way he's getting that. He should have waited. I mean, in the end, Navi would probably de-ward their own ward.
Yeah. But still a
30 seconds
huge boost
to
there to Navi. I love the fact that teams nowadays are so good at, you know, they place the sentry, they wait for two heroes to be there. They know that if they hit both at the same time, there's no chance of denial.
Remember when you were missing uphill? You're there trying to de-ward. It's like 3 misses uphill, and the rest of the team connects, and they like kill you. That one of the worst feelings in the game. I'm so glad we added that you cannot miss uphill when hitting wards.
Yeah, I remember there was I think it was Fear in a pro game like 6 years ago or something. He missed uphill 6 times. It was like ridiculous. You know, the caster's laughing, but you've got to feel the pain
The battle begins.
as the player in that situation. V-Tune going to grab the bounty rune up top. Toronto, Tokyo, and Yatoro getting a couple themselves. So yeah, 2 for 2. Navi have slipped back into their top jungle. Yatoro taking a lot of damage. Sweden strong, just going to keep chasing him back. You know,
This is why he's called Sweden Strong. Very strong, especially at harassing level 1. So
and very Sweden as well.
Yatoro will need... I mean, Miposhka does have a bunch of region. 5 Tangos and the healing salve. This is 5 Rubik we're talking about. Something that Team Liquid does like to play.
That's true. It's still scary for the Morphling though, pre-level 3 especially. Like level 1 attribute shift is pretty garbage. So against Celestial Hammer, Scatter Blast...
Level 1, we can change this to attribute shift. It's really not good.
Oh, we got him, the burn on Morphling's abilities. Yeah, you absolutely got to be careful there as Yatoro against the magic burst damage Navi brings to that bot lane. In mid, Zeus is 8-1 against Tiny's 3-0. I guess he got a couple of sentries and observer wards that count, right? So it's not that far ahead, but he's still doing incredibly well.
Tiny will catch up. No one... He got that Reddit thread the other day. People are like, who the hell is this guy? It's like he won a couple of majors or something, but he shows his worth.
Who is this guy? One of the best mids in the world. Doing an incredible job so far this tournament. Probably the standout performer from Navi.
Oh, look at this value from healing salve. It's really good when you use it on Morphling, because he can shift all of his strength into Agi and then have 200 HP, so he goes back to full.
Yeah, one of the few heroes that it feels good to hand over yourself to. And Collapsing Mirror up top. What they're doing, 6-1 Mars. Marcy just trying to zone back the clockwork as best she can. Razor, a couple more denies. Still pretty hot in the top lane.
Radiant's
Threat
middle
up there
tower
just yet.
is under attack.
Everyone farming towards items, just lapping up the experience they're being given. This is the danger, Yatoro. He drops incredibly low, but he knows his limits. He's got the stick charges, the tangos. Closing on level 3 as well.
Can't be bursted that easily. We see Mira popping the sidekick. Nice synergy with God's Rebuke.
That's true, clears out.
Oh,
Small
solo.
camp.
Rocketing the big camp. Forcing the aggro, so some creeps could potentially be denied here.
We'll see what Collapsing Mirror can get up to. Look at this, they're coming in, 2 heroes, hit at the same time. Perfectly done. Solo with a good attempt, but 1v2, he's not going to win that. A wave. There's one creep still getting killed off by the neutrals, but Collapse is going to try and drag this melee creep across. Mirror does the same thing to deny the range creep, or at least let it die faster. Move this wave a little bit further away from that entire tier 1. And there we see the strength of the Mars against the Razor. Static link lasts a matter of seconds before being speared away.
This is why they picked it. I liked it when Mars was super popular. This was when you don't know what to pick, you need more team fight, you're laning into Razor, spear him away. They have 2 abilities. They do have like even 3 if you want to call it rebound. Oh, they're trying to play aggressive on V2 now because they know there's no static link.
And the spear with God's Rebuke there, doing a tremendous amount of damage, allowing Mirror to get first blood. Solo. He comes back in just too little too late. This lane, exceptional from Team Spirit. Waiting for that level 3, like you said, with no link, no ability for Razor to play. I just go straight back in. Lift up. Poshka trying to go on Sweden strong, but dying inside the fire of the Celestial Hammer. That's really good off his attribute shift.
This is Rubik 5 we're talking about, not the strongest 5. A lot of people would consider that grief. But yeah, they're trying to make it work. As I said, healing salves do work still better on Morphling than other heroes if you use it on your allies, even though you are getting 50% of the value.
What was the big reason for the Rubik pick? Because it was Tiny Marcy, right? And Rubik was like 3rd or 4th picked?
I believe so.
The response was up against, I guess, Telekinesis against Razor as the Thunder God's Wrath blasts into Yatoro. Blaze is the one to get the kill and claim the life of him, while top lane, they again go back in aggressively towards Solo. Rebound back towards Clockwork as the link has ended. But Clock pretty tanky inside his suit of armor. Rocket Flare on cooldown for 14 seconds. So Poshka under the tower with stick charges, and that regeneration is safe.
Investing a lot of gold in small items. Mira buying Magic Stick, Infused Raindrop, had a Fairy Fire at one point. Well, they understand how important it is to sustain in this lane and not feed anything. First usage of Zeus ulti, they did manage. Oh, might be a little bit careful here.
Rebound away. Oh, look at how quickly she can jump. Like 2,000 range disengage from the rebound.
Nothing wrong here.
No, perfectly balanced.
Don't look at Marcy.
And the link cancelled again by the Spear of Collapse. They burnt through a lot of their regen though, but yeah, we're at a point in this game now where it's basically unplayable unless you buy Raindrops, Wand, Salves, Fairy Fires. Every little difference maker matters so greatly. As Yatoro does get picked off. Blaze and Sweden strong, getting that burst damage onto the Morphling.
Playing on low HP as Morphling can be tricky. They don't have like instant initiation, but if you're not fast enough, one cookie could potentially surprise you, and this is what just happened. Now Sweden Strong will be pulling the lane back on the bottom, so bottom lane going extremely well. Global presence, Dawnbreaker plus a Zeus. Dawnbreaker about to hit level 6. Zeus will have another ulti in 20 seconds. This is when I expect them to try to make something happen on the top lane.
Yeah, and Blaze just goes back in again. Good cancel there against the Dawnbreaker. Another good reason that Rubik was picked up against this lane. Stop the Starbreaker. Dawnbreaker, what, 1,000 net worth ahead of the Morphling already. Zeus up at the top there, 300 gold. And a Tiny is up the top lane. Collapse, zapped. Double lightning hits him in the back. Thunder God's Wrath in that plasma field. Well, oh, Yatoro died bottom lane again.
Sweden Strong. Involved in 4 out of 5 kills. He does have Morphling's number. I don't know if Morphling can come back to the bottom lane. He's level 4, would definitely love to get some XP. This is why I said that position 5 Rubik is kind of grief. And yeah, Yatoro not going back to the bottom lane. It's going to be jungle from now on.
Seems like it. So then what do you do with the bottom lane? You just leave Rubik there to try and get a little bit of XP?
Yeah. Poshka TP'd from near the outpost to the bottom lane to collect some of the XP.
Yeah. Just sit there in the trees, hope for the best to come your way. Zap out a couple of creatures as well as they arrive at your tower. With a couple of big kills, accelerating quickly, looking for Mira now. Scatter blasted and destroyed. Such an amazing amount of immediate burst damage with Navi's side. Spear back, Collapse sends Solo away. As V-Tune drains a little bit of the damage out of the Mars.
Tiny will need to do some heavy lifting in the next couple of minutes. He needs to make a move, but this Observer Ward is going to scout out his rotation.
Yeah, sees everything coming. Sees TPs, sees rotations, they know Tiny's here. So Collapse and Toronto Tokyo gonna try with the Arena Spear. Go on to Razor, TP's arriving. Na'Vi with a Solar Guardian trying to save up the Razor, but it's not enough. A turnaround play is available to them though, and a couple of big kills off the back of it with Zeus and Dawnbreaker coming in. I think I'll just be patting V2 on the back saying, thanks bud, you gave your life for the greater good.
Observer that I mentioned. Scouted him out, Dawnbreaker ready with ulti to come in. They did manage to burst Razor down, because Tiny did have double damage and full combo. Toss not maxed out yet, but still more than enough damage. This also puts away off some pressure from Morphling, who definitely needs to recover. It's going to be slow and painful game for Morphling, sitting in the middle of the pack. Like Sweden Strong is almost as farm as Yatoro.
Yeah, he's only, what, 800 gold behind him on this position 4 Snapfire. Has arcane boots already. Morphling doesn't have any boots yet. Trying to buy his treads. 8-2, a nice 3k lead, solidifying Na'Vi's position as the aggressors and the ones dictating how this game's heading. Only 10 minutes in, but we have hit level 6 on the Rubik. Does have a few 6 spells to steal. What's he going to steal out there? Scatter Blast and
Cancel that TP.
and dies immediately. Oh, Marcy comes in. Dispose from super long range. Toronto Tokyo going to take down Lays, but the kisses and the wrath. Raining fire and lightning down from the heavens. Toronto Tokyo very low, but it looks like Zeus and Snapfire just gonna let him go.
I saw Snapfire being level 6. I got really worried for Team Spirit there, because the burst damage from Snapfire and Zeus is pretty insane. Zeus finds a region rune. Doesn't get better than this.
Toronto Tokyo gonna have his bottle refilled, and the Poshka TP's bot to unlock that kill on the snap. A good bit of punching back from Team Spirit. Collapse gets a bit of free time up top. While Solo, he's eyeing up the Morphling. Yatoro there sitting with enough HP to withstand any kind of hook shot, lightning play from the Zeus and the clock. Dar Observer Ward's still up top. He's going to see Marcy come in. Na'Vi will note that Mars and Marcy are both returning to that top lane, as they've just solidified their position back in their own jungle, farming away with V-Tune's Razor.
Didn't talk about him. Oh, what is that? He has a Maelstrom queued up. Very interesting. More chain? I don't know. Chain.
Look at Zeus Lightning, Razor Lightning. Yeah, makes sense. Synergized together very nicely. I was going to ask what kind of build he goes for, because we position 1 Razor, we've seen
Mask of
Skitter
Madness.
go Mask of Madness, yeah.
Not sure what's the reasoning behind Maelstrom. Usually I do have an answer or try to give an answer, but nothing comes to my mind. Like, why would Maelstrom be a bet? Because he also has a Falcon Blade, which is a farming tool for Razor. Yeah, maybe we'll change his mind. I don't know if he can get away with... okay, now that I'm thinking, if he goes full right-click damage, he's playing into Morphling, who does have a lot of armor, and same goes for Tiny with the Grow. So maybe he wants to have a little bit of a different approach where he deals both physical and magical.
That's a good idea, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, usually we see this kind of Maelstrom or even MKB rush against like a PA, for example, right? Someone with a lot of evasion, but armor is the same story.
I'm a little slow today, Gary. I apologize.
It's perfectly fine, yeah. We've had our lunch. We're speeding up a bit. We've got those calories in. Hook shot from Solo. Where's he heading? Dawnbreaker will land her ulti in towards Collapse, and it'll catch the Mars. Mira does have rebound. Is there anybody to jump off of? No one nearby. So with no one coming in from the right-hand side, he'll pick up his mega kill streak and continue Na'Vi's domination of game 2.
Navi was thinking about Rosh. Like, you have 4 heroes near the Rosh, but they're like, oh yeah, maybe Roshan is a good idea. It's like, we have no damage.
Who's gonna hit it? Lays lifted around, but no one's TP'd down. Poshka, half HP remaining. Celestial Hammer and a little piggy chasing. That's Solo. Clockwork with the battery assault, trying to give it a go, but he's been speared to the side of the Colosseum. Blown up by the rest of Spirit.
The kisses. Great
kisses. Plasma Field slows down Tiny, and Toronto Tokyo, the trade out here, as Na'Vi incredibly happy with the way these fights are going. Every step of the way, they're finding the better trades.
No one doing a very good job keeping himself away from the arena, keeping the distance, involved in 12 out of 15 kills. Good thing for Spirit is that Tiny did buy a Blink Dagger before he died.
Bottom tower is under attack.
That's super good. Have that jump ability.
Is under attack.
Catch the Zeus and toss him around. Collapse doesn't have Arena, and he was tracking back looking for Lays. Dawnbreaker just going to sit back in the trees, hold out these mid-waves.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Is Yatoro catching up fast enough? Treads, Morbid Mask, going Dragon Lance.
Does have enough to sustain in a triangle because of the Morbid Mask and the Possessed Mask. But yeah, it's still gonna take a lot of time. Not involved in any of the kills. Had the horrible laning stage. I always get confused by some of the English words. Horrible, terrific, terrible. There's another one.
Horrendous.
Yeah, it might be that one. It's like, oh, which one? Is it a good one or a bad one?
And terrible and terrific are definitely ones that can slip up even there.
Yeah, Garrett is a terrible caster.
Thank you so much. I'll take that as a compliment. Solo dying under tower, but he's got himself stuck in the arena as Collapse comes in. Oh, the Mars blasted down by the V-Tune Ranger, but Lays in the middle of 3 of Spirit's squad, dragged back with a Dispose and another Avalanche toss combo. V-Tune about to die. Now they will arrive though with Snap and the Zeus defending and bodyguarding the Razor and the Dawnbreaker, who both escape with about 100 health.
Navi's so quick with making a rotation and then backing people up. Having global presence does help out quite a bit, but still, managing to outnumber Team Spirit. Same thing happened in game number 1, where Navi was the one dictating the tempo for almost full 30-35 minutes of the game, and then a couple of bad fights. Team Spirit did manage to make a comeback.
Radiant's bottom tower
Collapse
is under
about halfway
attack.
to his blink now. They would love to synchronize that up with the Tiny's one to get these multi-layered
Radiant
jumps.
structures are fortified.
Initiation so key.
Radiant's bottom
up against
tower
Navi's
is under
lineup.
attack.
Good smoke from Toronto, Tokyo, and Miposhka. Oh, they're going to connect in on the Dawnbreaker.
Radiant's
Showing up in the
bottom
top
tower
lane,
has
and there's
fallen.
no one mid. 3 Dire Heroes down bottom.
Dire's
Have a go
middle
at this,
tower
maybe.
is under
Oh,
attack.
they've lost vision. That's been great from Lays so far this game. In the series in general.
Hook shot.
Oh, yeah, they found Collapse. And Cogs and Kisses.
Is under attack.
Double fluffy hat for Solo as well. Tanky boy. I think Lays has been spectacular at knowing how many waves or how many creeps he can push, you know, the limits. The line in the sand is drawn, and he's very good at sitting in the trees behind his tower, almost baiting opponents to come and gank him while he just hides away. Stolen hammer, toss an avalanche. Solo's fluffy hats have kept him alive, haven't they? Mira now trapped inside the cogs. They do get the kill on the clockwork, but look at V-Tune go. Dives in, slays the Rubik, and Na'Vi, getting very calmly. They reset and fall back, hunting for this Mira Marcy, but the Tiny looking to blow up Swedish Strong. The heal from the Solar Guardian comes on in, and where did Tiny go? The
He
lightning
disappeared.
Just
Zeus had his number. Heavenly Jump slowed him down. Lightning Bolt plus Arc Lightning. And of course, Zeus does have a Fairy Trinket. Double damage did spawn top. Let's see if they want to potentially transition this into Roshan. Never mind, it's going to be a farming tool. Lace says, not really. I want to farm some creeps with it.
Is under attack.
Go and get some gold. A little bottle refill from Solo as well. Gives no one the bottle back. And Mira, deep observer ward there. Not sure what he was looking for, but he'll TP back regardless.
As you said, Clockwork is really tanky. Double Fluffy Hat did have a raindrop and now bought an extra cloak. So
wow.
he can go in and potentially survive through all the burst that Team Spirit have. We saw the displacement tools from Spirit. Toss back into Rubik Lift, into Dispose. And then Navi says, well, you know what? We also have one. So they use Cookie and almost get Clockwork out of the trouble. They know no one is here.
Oh, they spotted him. Blinking. Avalanche toss. They smoke for Spirit. Going to try to find the Zeus, but he's got the Dual Scepter. Saving himself for a second or two. In comes Solo with the hook of the Cogs. Collapse. He's trapped inside 2 cages. The Colosseum and the Cogs as he's brought down by the Mortimer's Kisses. Still launching lava across to maybe scout out Miposhka. But Rubik has retreated far enough away. While Spirit, they are regrouping and maybe looking for another go. Rocket Flare Vision would have scouted them if they moved any further forward.
Ooh, this is a risky TP.
Throw. It's a Razor mode.
Top tower is under
Blaze
attack.
with a shard.
Radiant's middle
Wait,
tower.
the Morphling and finishing off the tier 1 there.
Radiant's
Big
middle
tune.
tower has fallen.
They did manage to kill no one, so pretty big chunk of gold, 555 for Miposhka. Not the one you would expect it to go, but still, he'll use the gold. Get a 4-staff, maybe get a shard.
Dude,
Well,
can
that's
you,
ha
like,
ha ha in
stop?
Thai. 555.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you see someone spamming 5s at you, they're laughing at you.
I thought they were rating my gameplay 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
5-star.
Toronto, Tokyo. Yeah, the blink first definitely required this game, but it does mean that he's scaling a little bit slower as he continues to chain kills together. Echo Saber coming up next, so the natural progression for the Tiny. He's going to come on through. What's the end game scenario for this Morphling? What kind of build is he going for? Will it be that Dragonlance Skadi, Satanic Daedalus, the super hardcore right-click one?
It looks like he's aiming towards more late-game oriented build.
Yeah.
Feels the rest of the team might be able to hold long enough until he comes online. Does have extra damage, extra lifesteal from the sidekick, which is going to be used either on him or on Tiny. Tiny also not having that good of a time. In the middle of the pack, trying to farm his Echo Saber. That's going to take some time.
And what's the response going to be if the game does get dragged out that long? How does Na'Vi deal with the Morphling? Because previously we'd buy a Spirit Vessel or something, right? It feels like that's not the way anymore, especially when he's buying Manta BKB.
More HP you have means more static field is dealing damage to you. Navi's lineup is extremely good at scaling into late game.
Especially Zeus. Yeah, if he gets that shard up and running. Morphling finds himself a Grove Bow. Not a bad item to pick up on that low-range edgy carry. Essence Ring, a nice one there for Lays as well, even increasing her tankiness of Dawnbreaker. Tiny poking his head up the staircase. He comes solo though, and his Solar Guardian landing on Tiny. He's going to blow him up with a Scatter Blast and a quick little Starbreaker right outside the Roche pit.
We talked about combo from Team Spirit where they have Mars and Marcy, but what about Solo and Solo Guardian? That's the other one. They executed it nicely. Still, in terms of Roche damage, they don't have the most. I think they would be much more comfortable once Razor gets a BKB.
Yeah, have that security. Just to walk into the pit, finish it off. This is all space and time for Yatoro, though. He's gone from bottom of the cores now to 4th place, 3rd place. And he's jumping up quickly. Oh,
Try to catch him.
He forms away from the cookie. I keep tabs on him with a rocket flare.
Dire's top tower
A bit
is
difficult
under
task to execute. Maybe if they have Aghanim Scepter on Zeus with Nimby. Mira. Looks like he's in trouble. Tumbler Stoy. Wasn't able to use it, and Lace will finish him off. Lace has been amazing, I gotta say, in this series. Even though they lost game number 1,
Yes.
his Dawnbreaker plays were on point.
Yeah, his reading of the map, incredibly strong. Just the spellcasting coming out of him. Beautiful to watch. Yatoro still untouched, though. His first, his 3 deaths were in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, so he's gone a good 15 minutes without dying. Testament to his positioning and ability to slip away from danger. This is where things get a little rougher.
Good dodge from Miposhka.
Gets away from the hook shot. Razor's BKB has arrived, though, so it feels like go time for Na'Vi is right around the corner. Get rid of some of that vision, so Na'Vi don't have easy access into Triangle.
Toronto Tokyo didn't go for Echo Saber, instead decided to pick up Shard. So they want to farm up.
And they're going late game, aren't they?
Well, there's not going to be any late game if they lose in the next 15 minutes.
Is that a
This
possibility?
might be the start of the late game.
I mean, we saw in game 1, Team Spirit very good at dodging fights, waiting things out. Well, they do have this tiny toss back. Again, all these abilities to
Dire's top
chuck
tower
people
is
around.
under attack.
It makes your high ground defense incredibly strong. If Na'Vi want to try and break high ground, they're going to have to wait until 2nd, 3rd Roshan. And by that time, Morphling will be farmed, Tiny will be farmed. Team Spirit, full understanding and realization that the longer this game goes, the better their chances are. And Tiny shard into BKB. Not even bothering with the Echo.
There's so many tools that can stop Tiny from maneuvering. He might be able to get one combo and then he's dead. That's why he's getting a BKB. If he's trapped inside cogs, there are displacement tools, but if others are being controlled, that means that he's dead.
Double BKB timing now for Na'Vi. How do you feel about no one's build?
Radiant's middle tower.
I feel it's
is
rare
under
we see
attack.
this Yule Scepter anymore. Usually it's this kind of Kaya into Aghanim Scepter, getting E-Blade.
More mana, also a farming tool,
Okay.
but he can dodge spears.
Radiant
With it,
are
it's like,
scanning.
I'm gonna try to buy some time. Later on, when it comes to the late game, I get Wind Waker and I can fly over the arena.
And I guess when you have Solar Guardian, you're like, they've jumped on me, I'm going to Yule, Solar
Yes.
Guardian me, hookshot me. You've got all that response time to give Na'Vi to make plays like this as well. Hookshot into Solar Guardian, the combo you mentioned. They are trapped inside the arena though. But Kisses coming in from Mortimer, landing on Collapse and Miro's head. The Unleash is there, but Lane's diving in until the Tiny is dead. Yatoro is trying to back into V2. The Razor is BKB'd up and stealing a lot of damage. There was a static link flying into mid-air there. But Team Spirit, they only lose one hero. Not as bad as maybe it could have been. Still a good indication of Na'Vi and their ability to snap into action very quickly.
2 BKB usages from Na'Vi. Let's see if Team Spirit can make something done out of this. Like they could potentially, like, maybe go inside Roche, because there is enough sustain. Yatoro does have Morbid Mask with the sidekick. Well, let's see if they decide to do it. It's a risky move, but might be necessary in a game like this. Gonna take it slowly.
Things out. Wait until it's your turn to play the game. Na'Vi all grouping up. Smoke time for them. Gather. Rally around the captain, Solo. Gonna wave the flag and lead the charge. They see the Rubik, and it should be a freebie. Does drift away across the cogs, but Solo. And look at how quickly they move from one target to the other. There isn't another target there, but they were moving as if they wanted to kill even more. Secure Roshan, get into this triangle, stop Team Spirit from having a spot on the map. Yatoro and Mira are up top. Trying to draw the attention of Na'Vi away from the base, away from Roshan. Don't let Na'Vi get any objectives. And Yatoro with his BKB just stands tall and strong and defeats the Snapfire. Nothing to break the BKB TP, and Mira rebound off the creep wave back towards the tree line. Blinks away from the hook shot. Beautiful escape from Team Spirit.
Team Spirit buying some time. This is a nice play. Yatoro getting a BKB.
Dire's bottom tower
Mid
is
shotgun
under
from
attack.
Snapfire. And then getting a kill. Managing to TP out. Not sure where Clockwork was, because he should be the one trying to stop that TP.
And while that's happening, Toronto Tokyo getting a lot of farm down bottom lane. They're being pulled from pillar to post. Team Spirit's so good at this. This macro gameplay. They've dewarded their entire bottom jungle. There's no vision from Na'Vi on the Radiant side of the map, I don't believe.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
A couple of Radiant wards are out there. There's one down in that bottom rune spot. One up towards top in the jungle. So they see, they ping, they know where V-Tune is. And that means Mira will ditch the creep wave, not stick around for too long. It's got to be so stressful, so annoying for Na'Vi.
Yeah. Speaking of Mira, at one point I saw him having shard queued up on Marcy. That shard is so bad that during DPC Tour 3, Saksa did destroy it. It was so bad that he's like, I don't want to have this. Everyone else had the shard on the team, and he did not want to inflate his net worth to give more gold when he dies. Another hook shot missed.
So, missing a couple of the last ones now. Oh, and Yatoro rubbing it in. Team Spirit got to know that
Dire's
they're the
bottom
ones
tower
that
is
are
under attack.
irritating Na'Vi, getting under their skin. There hasn't been a real opening. Every time that in the past 5-6 minutes Na'Vi have tried to go for a fight, it's been a kill on a Rubik, a kill on a Marcy or a Mars, someone who's not incredibly important. Like, yes, telekinesis will drag Mars back, they get the kill, dead for 50.
I think it's time to take out Roche,
Has to
killing
be.
Mars, and he did show his shiny 9-second BKB. They should probably have a good read that there's no way he's having a buyback on top of the BKB purchase that he just did. Mira is thinking about potentially going in and stealing Roshan.
Well, he's going to rebound off the observer ward.
Does have a blank dagger.
Blinks away from Solo, jumps in and dies. Roshan, not even close to death. It takes such a long time for Na'Vi to get through the big man. So Mira dead for 40 seconds now, along with Mars. And there is Na'Vi gathering up the first Roshan, 27 minutes into the game. A late one, all things considered, while Toronto Tokyo, the Nimbus, and the catch from Lays. He doesn't have BKB yet, does he? And TP's on cooldown. He's trying to use it.
Blink,
Speed cancelled
will be able
out.
to blink
Blink
out.
and jump away. BKB also delivered. Lays not going to be able to chase him any further.
That should help.
Dire's
Well,
top tower
Yaturo's
is under
hunting.
attack.
Run away from through the cogs though. Outpost is there for potential TPs that Na'Vi could use to respond.
Refresher about to be done on V-Tune. Also did pick up Mindbreaker, so having an extra layer of control, something that could surprise Morphling, might force him to use a BKB as well. And Zeus, how's he doing? Almost 15,000 net worth. Going for Kaya Sanj next after finishing Aghanim Scepter.
That seems good. There is Ag, Scepter and Shard. D wards that River ward that's been there for quite some time. But this Aegis for Na'Vi, it's got to get them objectives. They need to get 2 or 3 of these tier 2 towers to really think about that next Roshan for the high ground and keep this game going. 7k net worth lead isn't an amazing amount. It's solid, don't get me wrong. But against this Team Spirit side, anything can happen.
Na'Vi did place Ward inside Spirit's base, something that PSGLGD did in Game
Radiant's
2
bottom tower
when they played
is under
against
attack.
Outsiders, which they did give them a lot of vision. And here comes Initiation.
Collapsed down to half HP already. He tried to jump sweet and strong. His lanes is on Toronto Tokyo. No BKB for him. He pops it now to try TP. The right click damage. Oh, it's not enough. V2 too far away as they focus too many targets at the same time. If they went for one and went on one alone, they would have got the kill on Tiny or the Mars.
Spirit should be pretty happy about this. They
For sure.
did use 2 BKBs to get out of the trouble, but nothing of value was lost in that one.
Mira, unleashed to kill the mid-creep wave. Looks like she should be dying in the end. So 1 kill for Na'Vi, but it's delaying this Aegis. They haven't got themselves a tier 2 yet. They're trying to push down bottom lane and should be able to claim it, but they need so much more from that.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Spirit, still ready to go. Got Arena. If they find a solo target,
Dire's top tower
jumping
is
on him.
under attack.
Na'Vi's very limited with tower damage, so one of the reasons why they can't put out that much pressure. We can see V-Tune pinging things out, go for the tower, but they need to take a fight before, especially because you're playing against Tiny, Marcy, and Mars, plus telekinesis. They could literally take you from tier 3 tower and put you in the fountain.
Absolutely could. So at this point, would you like the Razor to maybe buy an Aghanim Scepter? To give them a bit more tower push? Or do you just want him to continue going right-click, raw power?
I think they need to set things up with Clockwork, because he's the one that does have a BKB piercing ability. Not necessarily initiate with Clockwork, but try to initiate with other heroes, and then he follows up when they try to TP out. I'm talking about the side lanes, because Team Spirit did a very good job in the last 10 minutes, dodging fights and not losing any key heroes. Yatoro, he was 0-3-0 after the laning stage, 5-6 minutes into the game, went to jungle, now is the most farm hero in the game, didn't die a single time.
He's got 341 last hits, 17,000 net worth. And no buybacks there from anyone outside of the Marcy and the Dawnbreaker. So if this team fight There's a victory for Na'Vi. We could see Team Spirit break. Repositioning themselves back towards vision, though. That is the key here. Play under your vision. Use your wards. Spot the enemy targets. Or in Na'Vi's case, use Thunder God's Wrath to understand where your opponents are. It's a bit risky for them to go walking up these high ground areas. The V-Team is going to sit on the right side of the lane to clear the wave. Bottom lane at tier 3. So Team Spirit going to have to send someone back to defend it. Now this could leave them a little open. That would be the key moment for Na'Vi to go and strike, but maybe a little afraid with Aegis expiring in 15 seconds. They don't want to commit to Rash.
Didn't do too much with this first Aegis. Did manage to get a kill here and there, but no real damage has been done. Not a single tier 3 tower gone. Yatoro will buy the book for himself. He wants that level 25.
Players here.
That's huge, isn't it? Exactly that worth. He's got Mantis-style recipe, I assume, in his courier, because that ultimate orb, a few hundred gold away to finish off Manta. Hurricane Pike, Satanic queued up as the next primary items for him. So opting not to go for the Daedalus just yet, but could consider that a little bit later on. See the morph, Mira. Oh, they get the jump onto Collapse. Playing straight in towards the Mars. The static link can drain his damage, but he's been moved around. He's suddenly lifted out of danger. Toronto Tokyo trying to turn with his VKB, but he's been blown up. Sweden Strong is found by Yatoro. And the Morphling showing his prowess. Na'Vi, they've got a TP away. They can't fight against this man. Yatoro can just 1v5.
He got a triple kill. This is the timing that Team Spirit did play for. Yatoro going in, getting the static link on the Razor, who did static link him. And yeah, the only casualty they lose is Tiny, but this Morphling is scary. With the sidekick on top of that, they have so many tools that can break the static link as well, because we're going to see here, like immediately gets one static link off, then uses Refresher, another BKB, but Yatoro way too tanky at this point of the game.
Yeah.
And he just got 25, about to hit it, so 2 waveform charges available in and out.
And that's the thing, you can't even static link him. You're talking about telekinesis to save from static link, toss, dispose, spear to move the Razor around. He's got 2 waveforms now to get away from static link, so Razor are having a really difficult time sticking on a target and draining their damage.
Same thing that happened in Game 1 is now happening in Game 2, where Na'Vi was the one controlling everything that's happening first 30 minutes of the game. Couldn't get anything done in terms of tower damage. Like, they never threatened the high ground, and now Team Spirit, they feel very comfortable, especially fighting into next Roche.
Yes, it's this development of Dota, right? We used to think about this back when EE was still playing, the Eternal Envy effect. You want to go late game because these decisions you make are so important. So you can make such strong, chaotic decisions that will just win you the game. And we've had these teams and players play so many iterations and values in Dota 2 going into late game that they know exactly how to play certain scenarios. Team Spirit, definitely one of their prime objectives here. Go late game, find pickoffs, control top jungle, and force Na'Vi back into retreat mode. Their 7k net worth lead diminished down to 2, and the Avalanche toss coming in. Toronto Tokyo jumps straight onto Snapfire. They've blown him up. Yatoro diving in deep with the double wave form. V-June, the standard link bows back onto him. Drain my damage, I drain yours. Right-click punch, back into him. Now the catch onto Lays, Dawnbreaker dead, and Na'Vi falling apart.
They really are. Roshan, a bit of a longer respawn timer. Team Spirit, they seem not afraid of anything. They've always been a slow team. Even during TI, they did multiple times lose the laning stage and play from behind. Same thing is happening here. Like, they just lose it, but in the mid game and late game, Team Spirit definitely one of the better teams out there.
Decision making so much crisper. Great understanding of the flow of the map. That macro gameplay. We love to drop the macro gameplay term, but this is Team Spirit showing us exactly what that is. The push and pull. Mira going to jump up to high ground. grab the bounty room, take the outpost. Na'Vi going to beat themselves up. Such a good early game. Zeus has bought a BKB, but the Avalanche toss lifts up as well. A little bit of overlap there, but the Scardy's slow, clips onto no one. Yules will slow him down, but he's such low HP, he will be found in the end. Solo, he's jetpacking, glimmer caping, he's running away, but he's going to get chased down by Team Spirit. Kill the cogs, the hook shot off to the side, but they'll slow him and catch him as Solo dies.
Thrown to Tokyo, blinked inside of the cogs, just to make sure Clockwork's not going anywhere. Blocked that hook shot. Roshan is alive. Second Rosh. Shard plus Aegis. And Na'Vi, they cannot do anything about this one.
It feels like the beginning of the end was 5 minutes ago, and now this is just a slow descent into a loss for Na'Vi. Very little that they can do to combat the late game position that Team Spirit have put themselves in. Morphling nearly has buyback, Marcy as well. Dire sitting on 2 buybacks on both of their supports.
Morphling's gonna invest all of his gold into items, about to finish off Satanic and have Aegis on top of that.
Yeah, slots his BKB into the backpack.
Roshan has fallen
Just for him.
By my whiskers, that's
There's that Satanic.
stuff.
And look at that swing. A ridiculous 9k to 9k, basically.
Na'Vi needed to do more. They had such a big lead, but never managed to utilize it.
7,000-8,000 lead for Na'Vi. All disappeared. As Team Spirit, the ones moving forward aggressively again. Under dire vision, but that will be immediately deboarded by Mikoshka and his little buddy, the Gem of True Sight. Tier 4 items. Spell Prism, Timeless Relic.
Oh, Collapse instantly picks up Timeless Relic. He wants those spears to last even longer, has that 20 talent on top of that. Even
Has the shard.
Yeah, even Overwhelming Blink does get amplified by Timeless Relic, so the slow, extra 20% from 6 second slow is 7.2.
Yeah, and the damage as well. It all adds up. Refresher Orb queued for him too. Well, Na'Vi yet to get a single tier 4 item. They are scrambling to try and farm some neutral camps. Team Spirit have all theirs. Telescope, Spell Prism.
Okay, they found
Leveler
Timeless
on
Relic
Tiny.
for Zeus.
That's a big one.
Tower has fallen.
What else can they find? Because they're not farming Ancients. They're not getting that increased drop rate. Let's go find a neutral item boost pack. Right on the store. Yatoro, he's just up on high ground. Mira blinks into that sideline. They're pinging out and they're placing
Plants a
observer
ward.
wards.
He's
They
ready to
catch.
jump in.
Who can they catch? Glimmercape from Solo. He thinks he's hiding in the... Oh, the sentry ward. It's placed down in onto Mira, so they know the opposite's there. But barracks are falling so quickly. There's no answer. Mira does get killed off. Clock and the Dawn takes her down, but no one being demolished by this Morphling in Mars. Trapped inside his own Yules, the Glimmercape not going to save him. And Yatoro just going deep behind the tier 3, tier 4 towers.
He's alone.
He will die and lose the Aegis, but he'll soon have the backup of the rest of his squad. In comes Collapse again with a spear across. Yatoro turns into Razor and drains all of Ichu's damage. He's dead with no buyback, and that's got to be game. A minute and a half with no Razor, no Zeus. And Na'Vi basically have 3 supports alive against this ridiculous Yatoro Morphling. They call it. It's over. A 2-0 victory.
If someone can carry a game when things go really bad real quickly, that's always going to be Yatoro. 0-3-0 in the laning stage, forced to get out of the lane in like 5-6 minutes. 25 minutes into the game, he is the most farm hero in the game. But this also says a lot about the other 4 members of Team Spirit, where they...
Space.
Yeah, it's just, how do we make this work? We gotta find something